And I'd like to welcome the Como High School Navy JOTC. They will help lead us in the pledge. Please rise.
Hold, left, face, present, code.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Carry, code. Ready, cut. Ride, face. Forward, march, left, left, left.
Thank you and welcome all. First item on our agenda tonight is discussion or action concerning pending litigation in the matter of Sarah Hardy versus Allstate Insurance Company. I would accept a motion to go into session.
Mr. President, I move that the board go into executive session to discuss the action concerning pending litigation in the matter of Sarah Hardy versus Allstate Insurance Company et al., docket number 2021-3075, 15th Judicial District Court, Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, as well as pending litigation in the matter of Laura Landry versus Lafayette Parish School Board, docket number C 2023-0261, Division K, 15th Judicial District Court, Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana.
Motion second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried.
President, I'd like to make a motion that we return to regular session.
Motion return to regular session. Can I get a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we accept council's recommendation 2.1, discussion and or action concerning pending litigation in the matter of Sarah Hardy versus Allstate Insurance Company et al. Docket number 2021-3075, 15th Judicial District Court, Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana.
We have a second. Any discussion, questions? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion on discussion and/or action concerning pending litigation in the matter of Laura Landry versus Lafayette Parish School Board, docket number C 202-30261, Division K, 15th Judicial District Court, Parish of Lafayette, State of Louisiana, to accept the council's recommendation.
Second, Mr. Broussard. Any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, we have informational items. Annual LSU AgCenter report. Mr. Superintendent? Mr. Charles?
Thank you. Charles Aber, LSU AgCenter. This is our annual report. Good evening, Mr. President, Interim Superintendent Touchette, board members, and members and guests. This is our annual report of the LSU AgCenter. So today what we'll do is introduce our staff to begin. And with me today in the areas of Ag and Natural Resource have Lainey Richard and Maddox Miller. And then in 4-H, we have Nicole Gerard and Brandy Feller. Thank y'all. We are the LSU AgCenter, and the Cooperative Extension Service is the arm of the LSU AgCenter that is in all of our parishes, including Lafayette, doing educational programs in 3 general programming areas, which is Ag and Natural Resource, 4-H, and Family and Consumer Science. But we are a partner with USDA on a federal level, the state land grant universities on the state level, which does consist of both LSU and Southern University. And on the local level is both Lafayette Consolidated Government and you as the Lafayette Parish School Board. The LSU AgCenter's ag programs work with farmers, landowners, plant enthusiasts, and other citizens dealing with ag and natural resource. These are many of the programs that our A&R agents, or Ag and Natural Resources, deliver to the citizens of Lafayette Parish. We do have many master programs. Master Gardener is one of those, Master Horseman, Master Farmer, and these volunteers go out in the community, and they are pretty much another 6 or 7 members of our staff for the volunteer hours. They conduct over 11,000 hours in our community. So our Master Gardeners are very involved throughout Lafayette and the Acadiana area. The Family and Consumer Science agents deliver research-based information on health, home, and food and family, providing individuals, families, and seniors in our community the capacity on how to strengthen their budget to last longer, to be able to feed their family, and building community and ever-changing society so we can become a healthier society regardless from birth to our senior citizens. Then we have our 4-H Youth Development Program that works directly with all of our schools. All those in the district have a 4-H club, and we are working, many of you are very aware there are 3 program areas, and they are citizenship leadership, SET, and science, engineering, and technology, as well as healthy living. Our goal in 4-H is that we have a long history of learn by doing, and that's a lot of what's incorporated into the district. So we continue that, and our goal is for our young people, our citizens, to learn life skills and become positive, productive, capable members of their society where they give back to the community of Lafayette. And we're reaching right at 3,000 members in the system or in the parish through either our traditional programming areas or our school enrichment. And in 4-H, we have extra volunteers that are very much involved in our program that contribute almost 11,000 hours that they donate to help throughout the year. In addition, y'all know that our school garden program has been very active for the last 15 years. We are working with 9 schools. The picture on the right is last year's cook-off winner, where we actually have 5 students, a teacher. We team them up with a chef and an elected official. They create a My Plate meal. That meal is judged. Just so y'all are aware, that meal will be on the district's menu this coming Thursday at all the schools in the Lafayette Parish school system. So I want to thank y'all, and Child Nutrition, I know they are here as well, but that's a partnership between the district and our office, and we'll be working with y'all for the next cook-off, which will be the first weekend in February. And just want to thank y'all. Our mission, the LSU AgCenter, is to help people of Louisiana improve their lives through educational process that uses our research and knowledge to focus on issues and needs within each community. In addition, you will have a packet at your place that does have several things. One's a copy of this PowerPoint. One's an overview of the Extension Service. You'll see the parish profile, which gives you a breakdown of our programs. It's a one-page on the right-hand side. And then it shows you who we meet and our focus goals for the upcoming year on the back. And then there's also the Louisiana State Report. That is a booklet of highlights from the state program. In addition to that, we have a proclamation. So if y'all want me just to lead into that and read the proclamation. 2023 National 4-H Week. Whereas the Lafayette Parish School District is proud to honor the 4-H Youth Development Program of the LSU Cooperative Extension Service for 114 years of providing experience-based education to youth throughout the state. And whereas it's more than 235,000 urban, suburban, and rural youth participating ranges from age 9 to 19, held to a diverse ethnic, socioeconomic backgrounds, and truly represent a cross-section of the state. And whereas the program undoubtedly could not have achieved the success that is done today were it not for the service of its more than 9,000 volunteers who have given generously of their time, talents, and energy and resources to the youth of Louisiana. And whereas throughout we are proud of the history of the 4-H program as developed positive role models for countless citizens throughout the innovation and inspiring programs, continue to build character and instill values that have made the state strong and great. Now whereas it be resolved that the Lafayette Parish School District hereby designates October 1st through the 7th, 2023 as National 4-H Week in Louisiana, and commends the 4-H Youth Development Program and the LSU AgCenter Cooperative Extension Service as the many men and women who have made the program a success.
Mr. President, I move that the board adopt the resolution Mr. Hebert just read.
Motion and a second that we adopt the resolution. All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried.
We thank you all as
Thank
a
you.
district for your continued support of our programs implemented throughout the Lafayette Parish system. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Oh, 3-3, yeah. Next item on our agenda is update to the board on the pre-educator pathway and LPSS. Mr. Martin? Yes, sir.
Good evening, Interim Superintendent Touchette, board members. This afternoon, we conducted a board workshop for the board members and giving you guys and ladies an update on where we stand right now with the grant. This grant was awarded through the state with ESSER funding, so the funding will eventually run out in September of next year. So what we basically wanted to do was give you guys an update on where we stand right now with the program and actually looking forward. And I do realize that, you know, we just had an election last Saturday, so some of you guys are going to be moving on. But what I wanted to do was implore to you as you guys move on to the next thing that you're going to be doing, if you would reach out to those board members that will be taking your place and talk to them about the importance of this program. When we applied for the grant, myself, Nikki Walker, and Dr. Barber from UL, it was, you know, done with the assurance that there would be a continuation of the grant beyond the life of the grant. So I want to make sure that that's understood as well. And as we move forward, just the vitality and the use of this program within the district is extremely important for us as educators, because it's going to be pulling that new pool of teachers into the system. There were roughly about 80 grants that were applied for, and they awarded roughly about 35 or 36, but we're the only district that partnered with an institute of higher education. And that was one of the main things that they wanted in the grant, but Lafayette was the only one that partnered with UL. And now we've pulled SLCC into the mix as well, and they've done some phenomenal things on their campuses too. So we're working very closely with those two partners and trying to make sure that we've got kids moving from middle school to high school into the university and back to us as employees. So that's one of the very important things with this program. And I'll turn it over to Mr. Dugat to where you can explain some of the things.
Thank you. Good evening to everybody. You have a one-pager with this information on it. I'm just going to kind of summarize. We know we have a teacher shortage, but we also know that our future teachers are sitting in our classrooms right now. Our future teachers are sitting in our classrooms right now. So what are we going to do to support these students who will be our future teachers and ensure that every student has a quality teacher in front of them? We feel like we have a solution, or we're beginning to build one. 3 years ago, Lafayette Parish had no schools implementing the pre-educator pathway program, and one small Educators Rising Club at one high school. Fast forward to this year, as of right now, we have 4 schools with over 50 students currently enrolled in the pre-educator pathway. These are our future teachers. They're taking 4 college credit courses and getting ready to enter a university and major in education and come back and teach here of and from the district. We had 0 clubs 3 years ago. We are up to 10 active clubs with over 200 club members. Each of these kids they may not all become teachers, but they're all going to be educational supporters. They'll be parents maybe one day, and they'll support their teachers more. They'll be voters, and maybe they'll think before they press that thing and think about the votes they are. Some of the highlights of what we've done just this year. We brought 79 young black men to Grambling State University on a college tour and a visit to the Call Me Mister program. 79 young black men who are often not recognized for the great things they do. They were put on a pedestal that day. They got to walk the campus and have some hope. We hope to send 5 or 6 of those young men to Grambling and to come back into our classrooms and teach. Imagine the impact they would have. We brought over 100 people on college tours. We have every single senior and junior in the pre-education pathway has had an individualized post-secondary plan, applied to a university. Most of them have been accepted and completed their FSAID. We brought 40 young students, young people to a Bessie meeting the other day. Yes, I agree. That was quite an experience. I wanted to show our students that educational policy is made by humans with all their foibles and flaws, and they saw that. It was a great experience. This grant has given us the opportunity to offer students experiences that they would not have gotten. It's given us an opportunity to recruit from the students we have, we currently have them in our classes to look for the best and brightest, to give them hope, to build hope into the profession, and to bring them back, because they are sitting there with us right now. We do everything we can to help them prepare, including all the supports, both financial and just human supports. And we'll have them back here, and we'll ensure that my grandkids and our children have the best public school teachers in the state. Thank you all so much. I don't know if I was supposed to ask if there were any questions. My boss usually does that. Okay, thank you.
At this time, I'd like to recognize former colleague of mine, Dr. Eric Kesi. Eric?
Yes, sir, Mr. President, Superintendent, not fellow board members, but I'm going to call you friends, friends. And I feel like I'm preaching to the choir tonight. First off, congratulations on this facility and all the achievement of this term, this board's term. I can just tell you I'm humbled to be here with you and to see the progress. I think back to when I was elected to this board, and just all the accomplishments from over the last 9 years the accomplishments, the leaps and bounds that we've made in improving SPS scores, facilities, and really prioritizing children and education. It's absolutely inspiring. I'm going to talk briefly about why I'm here. Bessie. I'm running for Bessie, the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. Many of the things, and again, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, and I really want to talk to the audience and everybody watching tonight. I'm in a runoff with someone that I could not be more different from. I'm just going to be frank with you. The first thing I want to talk about are true qualifications. I sat, not in this room, but a room very similar to this, on this board for a period of just under 5 years. I know what it feels like to be in your shoes. I know what it feels like to take these unfunded mandates from an organization that seems like it's in the stratosphere, to battle with the budgets that they set you with. I know what it feels like to struggle with those decisions. When it comes to qualifications, I grew up in this system. I'm a graduate of the Lafayette Parish school system. When I was 17 years old, I was the student of the year in Lafayette Parish, and then I'm the district student of the year. And again, I got an award in the old room that we used to be in when I was 17 years old. This public school system launched me to achieve that true American dream. And I want to make sure that kids still have that opportunity. I want to make sure that no matter what their zip code is, they still have the opportunity to a quality public education. Launched me, and we're talking about qualifications again. And again, I'm preaching to the choir. I know you guys know my story. I went to the Naval Academy. I graduated with distinction. I served in the Navy as a Navy CB officer and a Navy dive officer. I fought my last couple years terror. That became my profession and my expertise, that I built a company. You know, and I'm not going to disparage my opponent, but when you can build a company from nothing and successfully execute highly secure projects on the order of $300 million already completed for the United States government, that should tell you something about qualifications. With that, I've had success. It's given me an opportunity to give back. Part of that giving back was serving on the school board. The other thing that I do to give back is I found an inspiration in law enforcement. I serve now about 1,200 hours a year for our local sheriff on our SWAT team. Some of the priorities I have on Bessie: the SRO program that we developed, most of us in this room developed, is something that is a national model of success. It is something that we should implement. There are still schools in this state that are unprotected, that if something tragic happened, by the time the police got there, we can't even imagine the things that could happen. That is one of my priorities. The other is making sure that we prioritize and focus on workforce development. We celebrate the kids walking across that are college ready, but we need to put more effort and funding back into the kids that have no intent to go to college, but we want to make sure that they can get a high-paying job. The other thing I want to do is decentralize and return a little bit more control, maybe a lot more control, back to the people who are qualified. There's no reason that some of the decisions that are handed down by Bessie cannot be made by the people in this room. That is just a fact. You are qualified. You can make those decisions. And I'm going to talk about, again, briefly, the other big difference between me and my opponent, besides qualifications. You can look the other guy up, and don't worry about that. I got that beat. But funding. My campaign was funded primarily by me and my wife. Thank goodness I have a lovely, loving wife that many of you know that believes in me and supports me. But it was also funded by a diverse group of business persons and citizens of this district. My opponent, primarily funded to the order of $435,000 by one special interest group. Do the math. Who do you want representing you on Bessie? Someone who was essentially bought and paid for? Or someone who's supported by the community? Thank you for your time. My last thing that I want to ask is I need your help. I know all of you believe in me. I'm going to need your help to get out the vote. I'm going to need your help to make sure that we inspire our educators, our staff, our parents, our citizens to go out for Eric Kesi on November 18th, Bessie District 7. Thank you.
Dr. Chisholm? Hey, Doc, before you leave, man, I love you so much. And this is something you already know. You have my complete support. Complete. I know exactly what you stand for. I know how hard you work. I got 2 of the flyers that were complete lies about you. They were complete lies. Let me say it a third time. They were complete lies. And they're just making up stuff about you. From the day I met you, you've been the opposite of what folks told me. Oh, you better watch out. Hey, Mr. Hogo, Mr. Santana, y'all remember they told me not to trust y'all? They told me not to trust. They told me not to trust y'all. It's the chamber boys. Don't trust them boys. Oh, the number one people I could depend on. From the get-go. From the get-go. Boss man, you have my complete support. Anything I can do to help you. You deserve to win this race. You're the right person to win this race. And I know what you're facing. And if I can help in any way, you let me know. Love you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Just so everybody knows, the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education is the people that are sitting on that board are not paid. This is an unpaid position. So somebody who really cares about this community, really cares about our education system, has to really want to do this job because they're not getting paid to do it. So, somebody like you who is willing to do that and willing to serve, and I know has the right heart for it, and it is really there because you want to make a difference. It means so much to me. So again, I just want everybody to know that this is not something that you're getting a paycheck for. You're doing it because you truly want to serve what you feel called to serve. So thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you.
Say something. I support you as well. It was a privilege to work with you. You're very intelligent. You pay attention to details. Our success on the board was part your responsibility and what you have brought to the board. I wish you the best. You would be a great Bessie board member. And thank you for all you've done on the board to move the system forward. I appreciate you, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Mr. Elroy? I'm sorry. Mason?
Dr. Eric, I just wanted to say thank you for the foundation that you laid in District 8 before I was appointed just 1 month early when you left to marry Elena. So very honorable of you to step down, and so much of the success was planned during your time on the board, and I can't take all the credit for District 8, so thank you.
Thank you.
Shipmate, friend. 2 schools wouldn't have ROTC buildings without you. One is at my school, one is at Miss LeBeau's. I take 0 credit for that. All I did was vote yes for that. You did all the work from start to finish. We would not have our young people who are in Navy and Air Force, ROTC, wouldn't have what they have today if it wasn't for you and your drive and your dedication. I already have your sign. You already have our vote. I'll work just as hard as you, for you as I would myself.
Thank you. We're going to need it.
Good luck, shipmate.
Dr. Eric Kesi, I certainly appreciate your leadership, the years of serving the board. We've accomplished a whole lot, and you've got my undying support as well. I know you supported me. I think there's a handful of us that's still in the running. The mayor president, you, myself, and I'm running for the district council seat. But we're going to take that trophy home, and whatever I can do to help you, and I know whatever you can do to help me, that we're going to be winners at the end. And whatever it takes to do what needs to be done, I am with you all the way. And good luck to you. Give me a call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And as my good friend Tommy taught me, I have another meeting to attend to now. So thank you very much.
It's a wise man.
I wish for you, Eric, the very best. Okay, we're going to move on to the consent agenda. I'll read them, and if you want to pull them, let me know. First one is discussion concerning superintendent, or alternatively discussion or action concerning interview scheduled for superintendent applicants and other superintendent selection process.
Pull it.
Pull that one. 4.2, academics, discussion and/or action concerning Resolution 10-23-2074, National Principals Month. 4.3, discussion or action concerning Resolution 10-23-2075, 2023 National 4-H Week. 4.4, Associate Superintendent, discussion or action concerning Resolution 10-23-2073, National Custodian Day. 4.5, discussion or action concerning Resolution 10-23-2072, National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. 4.6, discussion or action concerning Resolution 10-23-2071, National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. 4.7, transportation, discussion or action concerning Resolution 10-23-2078, National School Board Safety Week. 4.8, discussion or action concerning Show Your Colors for Vets, Veterans Day fundraiser for Acadiana Veterans Alliance.
Please pull that.
Pull 4.8. 4.9, Child Nutritional Services, discussion and/or action concerning Resolution 10-23-2077, National Farm to School Month. 4.10, Child Nutritional Services, discussion and/or action concerning Resolution 10-23-2076, National School Lunch Week. 4.11, Child Nutritional Services, meal price increase for LPSS adults and visitors. 4.12, Employee Services, discussion and/or action concerning a proposed state-approved one-time $2,000 stipend and related fund 20 budget revisions. 4.13, Employee Services, discussion and/or action concerning a revision to the supplemental pay section of the 2023-2024 salary schedule. 4.14, discussion and/or action concerning the October budget to actual revisions for fiscal year 23-24. 4.15, discussion or action concerning 2023 proposed budget for fundraising matching programs. 4.16, approved bid award bid number 33-24 air conditioning retrofit on school buses. 4.17, discussion and/or action concerning the 2002 half-cent sales tax fund declaration of excess distribution, teacher pay scale increase, reserve, and instructional pay scale increase. 2.18, discussion or action concerning the minutes of the September 13, 2023, and September 26, 23 school board meeting. 4.19, approval of all consent items.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we approve all items not pulled, but we will need a separate motion on 4.1. I'll defer to our attorney on that one. We can't vote that one in global, but we pulled it. So I make a motion that we approve all items not pulled.
Second.
Okay, second, Mr. LeBeau. We have a motion and a second that we approve all items not pulled. Any discussion? Yes, ma'am.
Just want to point out, sorry, I didn't have my microphone on. 4.12, that is the state-approved $2,000 that was awarded to the state. But what we've decided to do as a board, and the superintendent worked with Mr. Dugas to find that money, we're going to give a $2,000 stipend to every employee. So it is not just the $2,000 for the certified teachers, but we're actually giving $2,000 to the people seeking certification, as well as, is it all employees across the board?
It'll be all full-time
All
employees.
full-time employees. So that's amazing. So grateful that we were able to do that. And then I also wanted to point out that for everybody to please look at 2023 to 2024, the proposed projects fundraising matching program. I've personally witnessed the schools that can fundraise and get that matching program and get some things going for their schools. So please encourage your schools to do that. And then as well as the air conditioning retrofit on school buses. Very exciting that we were able to find those dollars and get those buses air conditioned, because I know I get a lot of calls about that at the beginning of the year. So hopefully that will help transportation and the students on the bus. Thank you.
If there's, Dr. Chisholm?
As well, because I know I'm going to get text messages about it. This also improves 4.17, which will be the $2,830.56 declaration of distribution and the $750 salary increase. So when folks inevitably are going to ask, hey, did it pass? If this passes unanimously or with majority vote, this also approves the 2002 half-cent sales tax distribution as well.
Yeah, that's in addition to the 4,000, the 2,000 they're going to get.
Elroy?
Mr. President, I know we're approving all agenda items not pulled, but as we approve the one of them, I want to read one of the resolutions, even though we approve it. The young man would come every year to ask that he be considered like everyone else, and we still considering giving the custodian a day instead of a month. So in his credit, his behalf, I want to read it whenever it comes around.
Okay. If there's no more discussion, I call for a vote on the motion.
Public.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. I'm sorry. Public comment. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. Y'all were rolling. Nick Richard, Lafayette High. This is definitely a different room. In the old room, you could kind of look one direction and see pretty much everybody. Now I feel like I need to be on a rotating platform, and then I'd probably just vomit. I want to address, first of all, thank you for 4.12, the state money. Thank you for what you did for the support staff. Truly appreciate that for them. But I'm here to talk about 417, the October lump sum raise, all that stuff. As y'all know, every little bit helps when it comes to retaining existing teacher talent as well as recruiting new educators. So far, teachers have received $1,200 from the LPSS COVID stipend. Thank you for that. We will soon get the $2,000 state stipend. That, along with whatever lump sum we get tonight, we've received more lump sum one-time money than ever before. On the flip side, we were actually denied a raise from the state recently. There is only a $125 annual difference between options 3 and 4. That's the $750 raise and the $1,000 raise. I asked you to finish what Justin started all those years ago. It's about increasing teachers' salaries. We're getting plenty of one-time money. Please increase it to a $1,000 salary increase, a raise, and that way we can make it permanent and part of our salaries, and we can do a better job of retaining existing teacher talent and recruiting new educators. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comments?
Ms. Martin?
Good evening, Mr. Touchette, Mr. LaChalais, and members of the board. My name is Roxanne Martin, and I'm a domestic abuse survivor. Historically, domestic violence was viewed as a private family matter not to be discussed. Today's society believes domestic violence is a social problem rather than an individual or a private family matter. I have spoken before this board for the past 5 years during the month of October. I want to thank my family, friends, coworkers, and this district for their ongoing support in the fight against domestic violence. Domestic violence is never an easy topic to speak about. I left my abuser 6 years ago next month. And I continue to experience anxiety and panic attacks when I talk about my experiences. I also continue to struggle with PTSD, which can be triggered by something as simple as a ringtone on a cell phone or a particular cologne smell. Unfortunately, I will continue to fight these battles for years to come. I have been the Education and Awareness Chair for Voices of Acadiana since its creation in 2019. Last year, I spoke about the positive impact of domestic violence on my life. Last month, after much thought and lots of praying, I decided to step away from Voices of Acadiana. In the past, I prayed and dreamed of having a better life. Those prayers have been answered, and those dreams are coming true. In May, I received my master's degree in educational leadership, and on November 1st, I will begin my new position in this district as a high school instructional content supervisor. I am becoming a honey to a sweet baby girl named Olivia Rain in March, and I'm getting married to my very first high school boyfriend, the love of my life. My life is perfect, and I want to continue experiencing this new and wonderful life God has given me. As a district, we must continue to bring awareness to domestic violence issues. Only then will our students and staff feel safe enough to seek help. For this reason, I'm asking the leaders of the Lafayette Parish school system and the citizens of Lafayette Parish to wear purple on Wednesdays to bring awareness to this issue. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight and for proclaiming October as National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir, Mr. LaChalais.
Ms. Martin? Yes. As long as I sit here, you'll be here every October. It's a privilege to support you, and I'll always thank you for asking me to be your voice, because when we're given a platform, we need to use it for positive, and you're a positive. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no other further discussion, I'll call for a vote on the items not pulled. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carries. I want to recognize and welcome Amy Trahan, Jeremy Hidalgo, and Chad Zarmo, who are school board members elect. They'll be sitting here come January. Congratulations on your victory, and we wish you the very best. Okay, we're going to move on to the item that was pulled, and that is discussion or action concerning selection of the superintendent, a discussion concerning interview schedule for superintendent applicants and other superintendent selection. Mr. Latchley.
I'll yield. Can they read the resolutions? Those that want to read the resolutions first. You're welcome to. You're welcome to do it.
Yeah, so I'm going to read Resolution 2071, National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Whereas October is designated as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and whereas breast cancer touches the lives of many in Lafayette Parish from every background and every community across our parish, and whereas, although great strides have been made in combating this devastating illness, more women and men will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year, and hundreds are expected to lose their lives to this disease in our community. And whereas, during National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the Lafayette Parish School Board honors those we have lost, offer our strength to those who carry on the fight, and pledge to educate ourselves and our loved ones about this tragic disease. And whereas this month we stand with the women, men, and families who have been affected by breast cancer, and we recognize the ongoing efforts of dedicated advocates, researchers, healthcare providers who strive each day to defeat this terrible disease now. Therefore, it be resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board does hereby proclaim October 2023 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And as somebody who lost my grandmother and my mother to breast cancer, I really appreciate us doing this. And I know we've had several teachers in our parish that have struggled through this and come out as survivors. So just wanted to let you know we honor you this month. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other resolutions to be read? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Mason? Mr. Elroy, I'm sorry.
Lafayette Parish School Board Resolution 10-023-2073, National Custodian Day. Whereas custodians arrive at school long before anyone else and leave after everyone else, and whereas custodians help to create a welcome environment at our schools, and whereas custodians provide invaluable work in the day contribution to important first impression and appearance of our schools and district office building. And whereas custodians operate behind the scenes and work hard day after day to keep our schools clean and well maintained, and whereas custodians build positive and impactful relationships with our students, and whereas custodians in the Lafayette Parish school system perform a long list of duties that are greatly appreciated and very important, and whereas custodians frequently go beyond the call of duty to help keep schools safe, and whereas schools in the Lafayette Parish school system would not function properly without our outstanding custodian staff. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lafayette Parish School Board hereby declares October 2nd, 2023 as National Custodian Day in honor to recognize in recognition of the work that our custodian workers do to keep our school environment well maintained for high quality instruction to take place. And I would ask again that we include Custodian Day to Custodian Month as we do everyone else, because the young man he come every year to ask that we recognize them in the same value that we recognize everybody else. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Elroy. Anyone else? Any other proclamations of resolutions. Dr. Aguilar?
Yes, sir. I'd like to read Resolution 10-023-2074, National Principals Month. Whereas school principals play an integral role in the education and growth of children in elementary, middle, and secondary schools across the state of Louisiana, and whereas school principals are responsible for promoting education and building relationships with parents and teachers to ensure that each child receives services that allow them to excel in the classroom, and whereas it is the primary responsibility of the Lafayette Parish school system to preserve and improve resources for schools so that all students have access to a quality education and a foundation for a successful future. And whereas educational leaders face many challenges in supporting and educating our young students, and it is through their perseverance and passion that Lafayette Parish continues to produce quality, career-ready students. And whereas we must continue to encourage, support, and recognize our school leaders who have a positive impact on our students and the educational system of the Lafayette Parish School Board. Therefore, the Lafayette Parish School Board proclaims the month of October 2023 as National Principals Month to recognize principals for all that they do to help our children learn and succeed.
Well spoken by a former principal. Thank you, Dr. Aguilar. Any other resolutions to be read? Okay, we'll move on to item 1.1. I'm sorry. Yes, sir, Mr. Touchette. I'm sorry. One more?
Because we cannot leave out these vital members of our school system. Resolution 10-23-2078, National School Bus Safety Week. Whereas National School Bus Safety Week, held annually during the third full week of October, is an active and evolving public education program that encourages parents, students, teachers, motorists, school bus operators, school administrators, and other interested parties to join forces and address the importance of school bus safety, with this year's theme being one bus plus one driver equals big impact on education. And whereas school buses are the main form of transportation to and from schools for many students, and thus they have a direct impact on student punctuality, attendance, and success. And whereas the entire transportation department bear tremendous responsibility devising complex routes and schedules, helping families make transportation arrangements, maneuvering traffic in various road conditions, maintaining behavior on the bus, and ensuring the safety of their most precious cargo. And whereas the first school district employees who greet many of our students each morning and the last who say goodbye each afternoon are our school bus drivers. And whereas the over 325 school bus transportation employees should be recognized and for their exemplary safety performance exhibited each day, which ensures the highest level of care for other motorists and student riders. And whereas the transportation department, as a vital component of our Lafayette Parish school system, deserves recognition for their hard work and diligence for all students of Lafayette Parish. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lafayette Parish recognizes and declares October 16th through the 20th, 2023 National School Bus Safety Week in Lafayette Parish, Louisiana. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to read one of the resolutions we approved? If not, then I'll call on
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
I'll yield the floor to our attorney here before we make a motion.
All right.
Mr. President, members of the board, the item that's on your agenda tonight has been written in the alternative simply because we didn't know what the circumstances might be when you got to this point. And so we wanted to make sure that you had every option that was available to you. Pursuant to your directions, we have advertised the position of superintendent in accordance with the requirements of law and in accordance with your wishes. Mr. Angel, Mr. Santani, and I actually personally visited the post office and opened the P.O. box. We double-checked at the desk to make sure that the one application that was contained therein was, in fact, the only application. That application was submitted by your interim superintendent, who is eminently qualified to serve as a superintendent in the state of Louisiana. At this point, the board has to decide tonight whether it would like to go ahead and make a motion relative to the selection of a superintendent, or alternatively, whether you would like to do something else in this process as it moves forward. So we've written the item intentionally ambiguous so that you could do either based on the will of the board.
Mr. Latchley?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion. I move that we appoint Francis Touchette as our next superintendent, subject to successful contract negotiations.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Discussion from members of the public. If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Motion carried, unanimous. Congratulations.
First and foremost, I want to thank the board for their vote of confidence, but more importantly, for the vote of confidence of our team. We will strive to continue to always put students first, and we will always make sure that our employees are in the best hands in doing so. Again, board members, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to you. Before we adjourn, I would like to congratulate. I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't know you. Discussion or action concerning show your colors for vets. Geez, I can't imagine I missed that one. The Veterans Day fundraiser for Acadiana Veterans Alliance. Mr. Mason or Mr. Centeni? Yes.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve Show Your Colors for Vets Veterans Day fundraiser for Acadiana Veterans Alliance.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion on the motion?
I'd like to call Mr. Andrew Ward to the podium, please, to better explain.
Board members, I thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I know that a few of you are veterans, so thank you for your service. My name is Andrew Ward. I'm founder of Acadiana Veteran Alliance. We're a 501c3 nonprofit in operation since 2020 here in Acadiana. And our mission continues to be an economic development driver and a work placement leader for veterans and transitioning military here in Acadiana. Our work program thrives with partners like LEADA and One Acadiana, and we also have our HEAL program that gives local veterans relief from combat PTSD through our clinical and behavioral health teams. So the idea before today came from a few schools that came to us outside of LPSS, and they wanted to do a free dress day last year and this year. And I said, you know what? I think there'd be something special if we could do it throughout our school district in which we operate and which we live. So with that being said, the money's raised through our schools, and if we get this approved, it will continue to raise awareness in our student population of the value of military service and pride in our veteran community. We live here, we operate here, and we continue to make Acadiana one of the best places for veterans to live in Louisiana. And we believe LPSS, as a supporter of veterans, is a natural next step forward. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, we had a saying when I was in the Army, and I know Britt's heard it too, but we used to say, you know, to the citizens of our country, you can sleep well tonight because the military is awake. Before I close this meeting, I want to congratulate, I'm sorry. Well, we have a motion. Huh? Yeah, we have a motion in a second. I'm sorry. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried. Now, can I congratulate Timmy? Yes, yeah, I know. I'm not gonna let the meeting end with Timmy without congratulating you and wishing you my very best on your newly elected position as representative elect in Lafayette Parish. We wish you the very best here. Oh yeah, in assessment. And I want to wish you the very best on you. Anyway, if there's no other discussion, I'll declare this meeting adjourned.